YouTube user JTube76 asked me how I hooked up the wiring harness, engine mounts, and what I did for an air filter and oil filter on the Yanmar 2TNV70. So as far as the oil filter is concerned, I got the manual with the engine from Surplus Center. So I look here on page 80. 2TNV70 is a let's see, 11930535150 Yanmar part number. This is wixfilters.com. So if I search for that, they got some application things here. Whatever the case though, the Wix part number is a 51365. And you can then cross-reference that with other parts, stuff you can get in the store. I even got filters for this at Walmart, so it's a pretty common filter. Alright, you could get pretty complicated with the wiring on this, but the basic thing is you have this 3-wire harness that comes from the solenoid. Obviously the black is ground, which I've connected to this blue wire here. The yellow, which goes to the white part of the solenoid, is called the pull-in coil. This draws a lot of current, maybe 25 amps or something, and it's meant to only be intermittent. It pulls in the solenoid, and then this other wire, the red one here, which corresponds to the red wire on the solenoid, is the hold coil, which maybe draws half an amp. And that, once the other one pulls it in, that hold coil keeps it there. And as soon as that hold coil is de-energized, then the solenoid closes again, or re-extends and cuts off fuel at the fuel pump. It's really important that you don't continuously apply power to the white lead on this, because really quickly the solenoid will overheat and burn out, and you'll need to buy another one from some distributor, which is about $100 part, so you don't want to make that mistake. I bet you wonder how I know that. As far as the air filter goes, again, I might remind people that I wasn't the guy that put this thing together the first time. Certainly something I could do, but I bought it for $500 and traded also for an old Suburban. So anyway, what he had done, and I don't know how this engine comes from Surplus Center, but there's this hose elbow that goes down to the air intake. And he had originally this homemade pipe connected into that, and then I don't know where this came from. It's some kind of a chrome die-cast filter holder that held that air filter, which he was kind enough to write on the firewall is the, let's see, the Fram CA3445 or the Purelator AF3080. I kind of modified or made my own filter holder when I put the turbo together. Let's see, so that's all I can tell you there. I don't know if that comes with the housing or if that's something the guy got from another part. I just don't know. You have to get creative on that. And then as far as the engine mounts are concerned, I really would like to redo what's going on for these forward mounts. What I did when I had to remake these parts, so I threaded these 2 bolts in, which they're metric, of course. Put them in a little bit, measured with the calipers, got the center distance, laid them out, punched, drilled, and fit to this bracket. What I'm going to do here soon, I'm going to do away with this piece, and I'm going to make a kind of a cradle that goes down forward to the structural member that's along the front here that the sway bar connects to, and along the back to the kind of the bottom of the firewall where the steering rack connects. I'm going to get in there because it's going to be a lot more solid. Right now, when this runs, the whole engine, it kind of shimmies like this, and it's not good. Then of course my forward motor mount is the transaxle, so that goes down and there's kind of an aft and a forward mount for that guy. About all I can tell you there is just lay out something that meets up with the bolts that are in this cast engine block. There are actually a number of pre-threaded holes, I believe. Match up with those, and you've always got to mount to rubber. I don't know if you can use salvage mounts or heavy industrial electric motor mounts. Anything you can find that's a combination of bushed metal or metal studs in rubber deals, or it's possible you can make your own if you got the right selection of elastomers and threaded studs, and I don't know. I've thought about it a little bit. I don't have any real concrete ideas for you there. Then what, a little more as far as the turbocharger goes, it works pretty well. I was driving it for a while. I got tired of it leaking oil everywhere, so I got to redo things. I think what I'm going to try to do is maybe get a different radiator, relocate the radiator, come right off the exhaust here, and find some of this space down here to put the turbo, and that way I'll get a lot better exhaust flow into it, and may redo my intake there a little bit too. So right now on the car I've got to redo the motor mount, redo the turbo, which probably involves moving the radiator, possibly moving the alternator, and do all that and probably have it on the road again. And if that all works out well, I will get new tires, because these things are shred monsters, and every time I put air in them I'm afraid they're going to blow up in my face because the sidewalls are all cracked and they're really nasty.